Max, I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
When something difficult happens to you, something that genuinely affects you emotionally, can you describe how you feel in English? Not just sad or happy or tired. Really describe it?
Honestly, no, not well. When I am emotional in English, I feel like I lose most of my vocabulary. I end up with, I feel bad, or I do not know how to explain it.
And that is one of the most frustrating experiences for English learners. Because you have a full, rich emotional life. You feel things deeply. You can describe those feelings perfectly in your own language. And in English, you are suddenly limited to a handful of basic words.
And it is not that your feelings are simple. It is that your vocabulary for feelings is.
And this matters more than people realize, because our ability to articulate means to express thoughts and feelings clearly in words. Our ability to articulate our feelings is directly connected to our ability to process and understand them.
Research actually shows that when you name an emotion clearly, it loses some of its power over you. The act of naming reduces the intensity.
So having richer emotional vocabulary is not just about communication. It is about emotional well-being.
Today, we are building that vocabulary.
Welcome to Real Life English, the podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Max. And today's episode is Talk About Your Feelings in English Confidently. Today, you are getting 3 things. First, why emotional vocabulary in a second language is so limited and how to expand it. Second, a rich collection of natural English expressions for a wide range of emotional experiences. And third, the framework for expressing feelings in English in a way that feels real and not awkward.
B1 and B2 level today. But honestly, emotions are universal. Every level is welcome here.
Subscribe if you are new. Every week, something real.
And your comment homework today, tell us, what is one feeling you often have but struggle to describe in English? Just name the feeling if you can. We read every single comment.
All right, let us start at the root of this. Why is emotional vocabulary the hardest part of a second language?
Because emotions are embodied means connected to your physical body, felt in your chest and stomach and throat as much as in your mind.
And we learn emotional words in our first language at a time when we are also feeling those emotions for the first time.
So the word and the feeling get stored together. The word becomes almost physically connected to the sensation.
And in a second language, you learn the translation. But the translation does not have the same physical weight.
It sits in the intellectual part of your brain, not in the felt part.
Which is why when you are actually emotional, the second language words are hard to reach. You go for what is felt. And what is felt is in your first language.
And this is completely normal. And it changes with time. The more you use emotional English in real situations, the more the words start to carry real feeling.
They get anchored. Anchored means fixed firmly in place. Connected to something solid. They get anchored to real emotional experience.
And the first step toward anchoring them is simply using them, saying them, writing them, even when they feel a little academic at first.
Okay, let us start expanding the vocabulary. Because most people know the basic emotional words in English. Happy, sad, angry, scared.
And these are fine. but they are the primary colors of emotion. And real emotional life is full of shades and gradients and mixtures.
So let us go through some of those shades, starting with the more difficult feelings, because I think people are more comfortable with vocabulary for positive emotions.
You are right about that. And actually, the vocabulary for difficult feelings is often more urgently needed.
So, beyond sad. What are the shades of sadness in English?
Melancholy. Melancholy means a gentle, quiet sadness that has no specific cause, a kind of wistful heaviness. It is not sharp or urgent, just present.
Grief. Grief means a deep, painful sadness that comes from losing something or someone important. Grief is bigger and heavier than sadness. It takes up more space.
Desolate? Desolate means feeling completely alone in your sadness. Like the landscape of your inner life is empty and bleak. Desolate.
Heartbroken. Heartbroken means your heart feels physically broken by loss or disappointment. Used for romantic pain, but also for other deep losses.
Downhearted. Downhearted means feeling discouraged and low in spirit. Not dramatically sad, just your heart has sunk a little.
Now beyond angry. The shades of anger.
Frustrated. Frustrated means feeling blocked. You want to move forward and something is stopping you. There is effort and resistance. Frustrated.
Irritated. Irritated means mildly annoyed. Something is getting under your skin. Not rage. Just, this is bothering me more than it should.
Resentful. Resentful means carrying anger from something that happened in the past. Something unfair that you have not fully released. Resentment is old anger, stored anger.
Livid. Livid means extremely angry. The kind of anger where you can barely speak. Livid.
Seething. Seething means so angry that you are almost trembling with it, like you are boiling inside. Seething.
And beyond scared. The shades of fear.
Anxious. Anxious means a worried, nervous feeling about something that might happen. Not immediate danger, future uncertainty. Anxious.
Dread. Dread means a heavy, cold fear of something you know is coming. You are not just worried, you are dreading it.
Apprehensive. Apprehensive means mildly fearful or uneasy about something upcoming. Not panic, just a quiet, uncomfortable anticipation.
Terrified. Terrified means extremely frightened, overwhelmed by fear.
On edge. On edge means in a state of nervous tension, like you are waiting for something to go wrong. Not quite afraid of anything specific, just tense and alert.
These words, just hearing them, I can feel the differences between them.
Because they are specific. And specificity is what gives language its power.
Now let us talk about the positive and complex emotions, because I think this is where vocabulary gets really interesting.
Yes, because positive emotions have just as many shades as difficult ones, and we tend to flatten them more.
Everything good becomes happy or excited or good, and that is such a narrow range.
So, beyond happy, the shades of happiness.
Content. Content means quietly satisfied, not jumping with joy. Just, this is good. I am at peace with this. Content.
Elated. Elated means extremely happy, like your happiness is lifting you, lighter than air. Elated.
Joyful. Joyful means deeply happy in a warm, full way. Joy is richer than happiness. It has more texture.
Grateful? Grateful means feeling thankful, aware of what you have been given. Grateful.
Nostalgic. Nostalgic means a warm, slightly bittersweet feeling for something in the past. Happy about the memory, but a little sad that it is over.
And the complex emotions. The ones that are hard to name because they mix different feelings together.
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means there is too much at once, too much to process, too much to handle. Your capacity has been exceeded. Overwhelmed.
And interestingly, you can be overwhelmed by positive things too. Being overwhelmed by joy, by beauty, by gratitude.
Conflicted. Conflicted means you have strong feelings pulling in opposite directions. You want two things that cannot both be true at the same time. You feel pulled apart.
Bittersweet. Bittersweet means happy and sad at the same time. Something is beautiful, but it is also ending. Or it is good, but it came with a cost.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable means open to being hurt, without your usual protection. This is not always negative. Sometimes vulnerability is the most courageous state.
Moved. Moved means your emotions have been stirred by something beautiful or profound. Something touched you deeply. You were moved.
I want to share something personal here.
Please.
I grew up in a culture where men do not talk about feelings. It was not a rule anyone stated. It was just the atmosphere. Feelings were private, and expressing them was uncomfortable.
And how did you carry that into your English?
I think it made my emotional English even more limited than it needed to be. Because even when I had the vocabulary, I had a deeper habit of not using it.
And what changed?
Honestly, learning that naming feelings is not weakness. It is actually a form of strength. And using emotional language in English felt slightly easier than in my own language because it was a little removed, a little less immediate.
That is actually something researchers have found. A second language can provide a small emotional distance that makes difficult feelings easier to approach.
Like the feelings are real, but the words are slightly further from the raw nerve.
And that distance can be useful. Not to avoid the feeling, but to approach it more carefully.
And I want to push back on one thing here.
Go ahead.
I think there is a risk of over-intellectualizing emotions, of having beautiful vocabulary for feelings, but using it to perform rather than to genuinely share.
That is such an important point. Emotional language is only as valuable as the honesty behind it. The words are the vehicle. The honesty is the thing being carried.
And genuine emotional communication, even with simpler words, is always more powerful than a performance with beautiful vocabulary.
The goal is never to sound impressive. The goal is always to be real. Let us zoom out. Because emotional expression varies enormously around the world, and this affects how people use emotional English.
In some cultures, expressing feelings openly is completely normal and encouraged. You share how you feel. People expect it. They respond to it warmly.
And in other cultures, emotional expression is much more private, kept inside. Not because people do not feel deeply, but because the culture values restraint. Restraint means holding back, not expressing something fully.
And neither approach is wrong. They are just different social codes.
But when you are using English in an international context, the expected level of emotional expression can be different from what you are used to.
And if you come from a culture of restraint, English speakers might sometimes feel you are closed off. Not warm, when actually you are completely warm, just expressing it differently.
And if you come from a culture of open expression, more reserved English speakers might sometimes feel you are sharing too much too quickly.
Neither of these is a moral failure. They are just calibration differences.
And awareness of this difference is helpful. Not to abandon your cultural values, but to understand why interactions sometimes feel slightly mismatched.
If you are listening from East Asia, Northern Europe, or many professional Western contexts, the tendency toward emotional restraint might mean you have good reasons for keeping feelings private.
And if you are from Southern Europe, South Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, your natural expressiveness is not excessive. It is just calibrated differently.
And the vocabulary we are building today is for anyone, whatever your cultural starting point, who wants more range in how they express themselves in English.
More words for the full spectrum of your real emotional life. Because you deserve to be fully understood in any language you speak.
All right, here is your practical framework for today. We are calling it the Emotion Upgrade Method.
It has 3 parts, and together they build a genuinely rich emotional vocabulary in English.
Part 1. The Upgrade. Every time you catch yourself using a basic emotion word in English, happy, sad, angry, scared, good, bad, pause for a moment and ask, is there a more specific word for this?
Not to make your speech more complicated, just to find the word that is actually more true.
For example, instead of, I am happy, try, I feel genuinely content today. Or, I am actually a little elated about this.
Instead of, I am sad, try, I feel a bit melancholy actually. Or, I have been feeling quite downhearted since that news.
The upgrade does not have to happen every time. Just when you notice the basic word is not quite capturing the real thing.
Part 2. The Feeling Journal. Once a week, or ideally once a day, write 3 sentences in English about how you felt during the day. Using specific vocabulary.
Not a long essay. 3 sentences. For example, I felt genuinely conflicted about the decision at work today. By the evening, I was quite overwhelmed, but in a manageable way. Right now, I feel content and a little tired.
This is called emotional labeling. Emotional labeling means naming your emotions specifically and consciously, and research shows it directly reduces emotional intensity and increases emotional intelligence.
3 sentences. Once a day. Real feelings. Specific words.
Part 3. The Expression Framework. Here is the sentence structure you can use for any emotional expression in English.
I have been feeling... It is the kind of feeling that description. What I find helpful when I feel this way is...
For example, I have been feeling quite anxious lately because of some uncertainty at work. It is the kind of feeling that sits in my chest and makes it hard to concentrate. What I find helpful when I feel this way is talking to someone I trust, or going for a walk.
Or, I have been feeling really moved by something I read recently. It is the kind of feeling that stays with you. What helps when I feel this way is just sitting with it and letting it be there.
Let us hear some real examples. Imagine someone called Amina. She is having a difficult week. She writes, "I feel really overwhelmed today. Everything is too much at once." She upgrades it, "I feel genuinely overwhelmed and a little desolate, honestly." Everything arrived at the same time. She says it out loud. The feeling becomes slightly more manageable because it has a name.
Or imagine someone called David. He wants to tell a friend he is grateful. He upgrades, not just thank you. "I am genuinely moved by what you did. I do not have the right words, but I feel deeply grateful. And I wanted you to know that."
Or maybe you, right now. How are you feeling in this moment? Be specific. Use one word from today. Say it out loud. Word tour time. Today's word tour is a little different. We have covered so many emotion words already. So this tour will review the ones with the most useful everyday applications.
First, melancholy. A gentle, quiet sadness with no specific cause. Example 1. She felt melancholy on Sunday evenings. A quiet heaviness that settled without reason. Example 2. There is something melancholy about the end of summer. Beautiful and sad at the same time. Did you catch that one?
Next, resentful. Carrying unresolved anger from a past injustice or unfairness. Example 1. She had not processed the situation and found herself feeling quietly resentful months later. Example 2. Resentment is old anger that has not been released. It weighs more the longer you carry it. Did you hear that one?
On edge. In a state of nervous tension, waiting for something to go wrong without knowing what. Example 1. He had been on edge all week without understanding why. Something felt unresolved. Example 2. She was on edge before the presentation. Not exactly scared, just tense and alert. Did you catch that?
Content. Quietly satisfied, at peace with how things are. Example 1. She did not need anything more that evening. She felt genuinely content. Example 2. There is a difference between happy and content. Happy is more energetic. Content is more still. Did you hear that one?
Conflicted. Having strong feelings pulling in opposite directions at the same time. Example 1. He felt conflicted about the job offer, excited by the opportunity, but reluctant to leave what he knew. Example 2. She was conflicted. She wanted to say something, but she also knew it was not her place. Did you catch that?
Bittersweet. Feeling happy and sad simultaneously, something good that carries a cost or an ending. Example 1. Watching her daughter leave for university was bittersweet, so proud and so sad at the same time. Example 2. The last day of the trip had a bittersweet quality, wonderful and already missed. Did you hear that one?
Moved. Your emotions stirred by something beautiful, kind, or profound. Example 1. She was deeply moved by the letter. She had not expected anyone to notice what she had done. Example 2. Good art should move you. Shift something inside you that stays shifted. Did you catch that?
Overwhelmed. Too much at once, your capacity exceeded. Example 1. She was overwhelmed not by sadness exactly, but by the sheer amount of everything happening at once. Example 2. You can be overwhelmed by beauty too, by joy, by gratitude, by love. Did you hear that one?
Restraint. Holding back, not expressing something fully. Example 1. She showed remarkable restraint in the conversation. She felt a great deal, but said very little. Example 2. Emotional restraint in some cultures is a sign of respect and maturity, not coldness. Did you catch that?
And our last word, articulate. To express thoughts and feelings clearly and specifically in words. Example 1. She struggled to articulate what she was feeling, not because the feeling was absent, but because the words were. Example 2. The ability to articulate your emotions is one of the most powerful skills a human being can develop. Did you catch that one?
Okay, now it is your turn. I am going to ask you some questions about your own emotional experience, and I want you to answer out loud. In English, with specific vocabulary.
Remember, this is not a test. It is practice, and practice that is imperfect is still practice.
Question 1. Think about how you have been feeling this week overall. Do not say fine or okay. Use a specific emotion word from today. How have you been feeling? Say it out loud.
Pause now. Answer out loud. Question 2. Think of something that made you feel a complex emotion recently. Something bittersweet or conflicted or overwhelmed in a good way. Describe it in 2 sentences. Out loud. In English.
Pause now. Answer out loud. Question 3. Is there something you have been feeling for a while that you have found hard to name or describe? Try to name it now. Just 1 or 2 words. Out loud.
Pause now. Answer out loud. And the final question. Think of someone in your life who has moved you recently. Someone whose kindness or presence or words touched something in you. In 1 or 2 sentences in English, describe what you felt.
Pause now. Answer out loud. Those answers, however imperfect, are your emotional self in English. And the more you practice naming what you feel in English, the more English becomes a language you live in, not just a language you use.
We are at the end. And I want to say something that I mean deeply.
Go ahead.
You have a rich emotional life. You feel things that deserve more than basic words. Things that deserve to be described with the specificity and care they actually carry.
And now you have more of the language to do that.
Melancholy. Resentful. On edge. Content. Conflicted. Bittersweet. Moved. Overwhelmed.
These are not just vocabulary words. They are tools for understanding yourself and for being understood by others.
Use them. In your journal, in your conversations, in your head on the way home from somewhere that left you feeling something you could not previously name.
The emotion upgrade. The feeling journal. The expression framework. Start with one of them this week.
Your comment homework. What is one feeling you often have but have struggled to name in English? Write it in the comments. Maybe in your language, and maybe in English too, if you found the word today.
And if this episode gave you something real today, share it with one person. Someone who feels deeply, but sometimes cannot find the English for it.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm Emma.
And I'm Max. Your feelings deserve to be named. And they deserve to be heard. And we will see you in the very next episode. Bye for now.
Bye!